Everyone wants to write his own story, to live his own life, to make both big and small decisions, and to be respected for the decision he's made. Everyone wants to feel empowered. What keeps people from being empowered? Not understanding the importance of setting goals, not having the confidence in our ability to reach those goals, not having the knowledge, skills, and tools needed to realize them. The Advocacy Center seeks to empower every person who needs our help. When we help them find their own voice, we've really done our job. Because just maybe the next time that person has a problem or a crisis, he or she just may be able to resolve the situation without us. In this video, you'll meet 3 people the Advocacy Center helped in the past year. We helped them find their voices, and now they're writing their own stories.
Irene is 48 years old. Her disability is a mild intellectual disability. Irene lived in a small house, and it had 14 people living in the house, 5 of which were children under the age of 6.
I didn't like the things they were doing, because Mom was taking my card, my food stamp card, and going spending it and buying groceries for her grandchildren, and not letting me have nothing.
In addition, there had been some violence in the home, and it was a pretty difficult situation. She was very shy, and she was very withdrawn, and she was very frightened. But I have to say that she had incredible strength to be able to tell a room full of almost strangers that she wanted to get out, and that she wanted to move on her own, and she wanted our help in doing so.
And I told them that soon 2015 kick in, I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to show y'all where I'm coming from.
I believe that through our efforts, the combined efforts of Irene and the Advocacy Center, we made such an impression upon the rest of the team. They certainly understood the urgency of the matter, and they replied almost within 24 hours of the request. Some of her family members actually did not allow her to move out. A sheriff's deputy had to go along with several of members of the team to remove her from the home.
Miss Susan helped me to go to a safe place where it's nice and quiet, where they take care of you.
So we actually helped Irene move into this apartment. The provider was wonderful about securing some furniture for her and some household items. She also was able to keep her job that she enjoyed very much, and she was able to then begin to learn how to actually budget her funds. For the first time ever, she was able to go out and spend her money as she chose to spend it.
And saving some money to help to pay my rent, pay my cable bill, pay my light bill. And now I'm trying to save some money to go out of town for the summer.
She is an amazing person to have come from where she was to where she is now, and she has incredible inner strength to be able to be that person that she has become.
Can I have my hug now?
Yeah.
Okay. I met AJ probably 2008, 2009. He lived in a group home, and I would visit him regularly as an ombudsman. And at that time, he was telling me how much he wanted to move out on his own and, you know, live his life. AJ has cerebral palsy, and he has a mild cognitive disability. Your dad told you that this was going to be your house?
Mine too.
Your mom too? When AJ's mother passed, we learned that there was a trust fund for him and also property. Relatives who had not been around didn't feel that he was able to manage his affairs or to make decisions. AJ said, you know, that's my house. It will all be mine. I want to move back into my home. With that, we were able to stop everything that was happening. The trust was not going to be turned over into somebody else's name. It went into a special needs trust. His house was put into the trust to protect it. We met as a team with all the parties involved and explained to them that AJ is a competent major. He knows what he wants.
You helped build the house?
Yeah.
Has a lot of special memories for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At that time, there was another resident of the house, Mr. Teddy, who had moved in, and AJ and Teddy had really become friends, good friends. It was almost a comical scene visiting them. One would tell a joke, the other one would finish it, or, you know, they were just two peas in a pod.
I love to go gamble. Uh-oh, me too.
Well, Mr. Teddy wanted to move out. Okay, well, let's check, you know, what kind of sports can we get? What kind of waivers are you on? Unfortunately, Mr. Teddy's name was a long way on the waiting list. I had contacted the regional office to find out, you know, what could we do? AJ has a house, he got his waiver, he wants Teddy to live with him. How do we make this happen?
I thought he was kidding me. He said, do you want to come live with me? And I didn't take him up to his way. Till Katie said, Teddy, do you want to get an apartment? Then after a while, she couldn't find me an apartment. So she said, why don't you move with AJ? I said, fine. And we've been having a beautiful time.
He might talk a little different than the rest of us, or a little slower, which a lot of times is a good thing. Sometimes we just need to slow down and listen to what he wants. And AJ lives in his own house, and he's able to dictate his life the way he sees fit.
Oh my God, then.
And I helped you get it back. And you too.
Mackenzie was born with a chromosome genetic disorder. It's called partial trisomy 12q and monosomy 22q. It's extremely rare. She was the 13th case in the nation. And basically, everything has to be done. She's not physically able to do for herself, as well as not capable of speaking. She does make sounds and facial expressions, so we kind of know what she's saying to us.
Mackenzie Wells was a teenager with severe disabilities that required round-the-clock care and truly heroic measures by her family to make sure that she got the care she really needed.
We spoke with the pediatrician about having some nursing service to come into the home. We tried to get 30 hours. Well, we only got 21. We tried to go for 40. Well, they finally gave us 30. When trying to basically get 40, we kind of applied for 56. They still didn't want to give us but 30 hours. Well, then they finally come up and said, okay, we'll give you 40. By this time, I had gotten in touch with the Advocacy Center.
The state's required to give her an explanation of why she didn't get what she asked for. And there was the notice from the Department of Health and Hospitals was just purely, it was invalid. It did not give the information she was entitled to by law. What we did was we offered them the opportunity, if they were willing to go to federal court with us, representing Mackenzie and people in her situation. And that way we would be able to help more people.
There was no question about doing it. It's a definite yes, because we've been there. We know what it's like.
So we filed the case, and almost immediately the Department of Health and Hospitals took another look at it and could tell that her services needed to be increased to the amount recommended by her doctors. But we didn't even have to have a hearing on it. The department immediately complied and approved those services.
Having the nurses here, It's a blessing. They help so much with what they do. And if it hadn't been for the Advocacy Center, we wouldn't have the nurses here. The Advocacy Center it's a wonderful thing to know that they're there to help people like us. I mean, we try to do everything that we can for our daughter to have as much of a normal life as possible. I couldn't ask for a better group to work with.
You've heard 3 stories about remarkable people who were not content with the status quo. They sought to change their lives, and they did. They are our heroes.